Brought to you by stationhousecoffee.com and patreon.com/inspireddisorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Love show on Netflix came out, I think it only lasted 3 seasons, came out probably around 2015, 2016 or so. Show, I think I watched maybe the first 2 seasons, maybe just the first season. Anyway, revisited it. I've been revisiting a lot of TV shows. Just there's so much free time, and movies are only last 2 hours, so binging shows has just kind of been my MO. And that's one I've wanted to get back into and finish. A show created by Paul Rust and Judd Apatow, starring Paul Rust and Jillian Jacobs. Jillian, of course, from Community. Amazing. She's amazing in this. First off, this show encapsulates the name of the show being Love. Really encapsulates what this show is about, because it is very much about love. It's very much about relationships. It's very much about the different types of love and relationships, the difficulties of being in love, the kind of new love, old love, broken love, just being in toxic relationships, or just people who are damaged being in relationships. Jillian Jacobs plays a character that has addiction problems, and the show, I think, is a fairly honest representation of what it's like to be in a relationship with somebody that has addiction problems, like she does, with the self-destructiveness, the self-sabotage, falling into like patterns. Her roommate in this is adorable, Birdie. She is like an Australian who came to LA to get away from her old relationship that was just comfortable and boring and stale. And she ends up basically repeating that same thing with somebody that is pretty toxic. I mean, not toxic necessarily in the sense of, I guess, how toxic, not like abusive toxicity, but it's definitely somebody that's a taker, somebody that saps the life force out of you, that takes advantage of you. The type of person that is looking for a girlfriend or a wife that will be their mom, that will be the person that takes care of them and feeds them and shelters them and does everything for them so that they can just do nothing and be lazy. Kind of difficult at times watching this show, because there's a lot of situations where I relate to characters, or I see a lot of past relationships I've had represented in the show. Very difficult to watch, especially just Jillian Jacobs' character, because she's self-sabotaging in a lot of ways. Just kind of difficult and painful, I would say, to watch and follow her, doing the same things. Like you want to root for their relationship. You want to root for her and Paul Rust to be together and to be happy. But there's just so many situations where it shouldn't work. It like, you don't want them to be together, because you do. I think, as far as the two characters are concerned, Paul Rust's character, Gus, is a lot more sympathetic of a character. Although towards the end, I really love how the show, all the characters are amazing. The writing is amazing. It's got a lot of heart to it. It's the overall story is great. It lasts 3 seasons. It wraps up, I think, pretty nicely at the end of the series. And even Paul Rust's character, Gus, you see the things like there's a scene where he goes back home to celebrate his parents' 40th anniversary. I don't remember. And he's very nervous about taking Mickey, Jillian Jacobs, with him, because it's drama. She's drama. She's just constant. The whole show, she's been drama. And it's part of it is her addiction, and part of it's the self-sabotage aspect of it. So he's concerned taking her on this trip back home to the Midwest. And of course, she fits in just fine. But then she also finds out things about Gus, like things that you don't really know much about Gus, aside from, he's like a teacher. He teaches kid actors on set of a TV show. He works at a studio. And, you find out that before he was a teacher, he was kind of making waves in Hollywood. But he himself has problems, different types of problems, kind of a lot of problems I would say I've experienced in some ways, especially in my younger years, being a little bit too much, I think, a little bit too much, trying a little bit too hard, trying to push things faster than they need to go. And you find out about Gus and what mistakes he's made, where he ruined relationships with prominent directors and producers because he was trying to do too much too fast. And it humanized him in a lot of ways, too, because it showed that so much of the show was showing that Mickey was the damaged one in the relationship and that Gus was just the sweet, nice guy. And then you find out that he's been keeping this whole other life, his whole past, away from her because it's embarrassing. And the way the scene plays out where she's going to leave, she finds out like all of these things about his past, and she's like, fuck this, man. Like, I don't even know who you are. And she wants to leave to fly back home. And they have this, a lot of the arguments, it's just like so real. So much of this show is so real. And it kind of like, it is kind of tough to watch just because relationship drama is just, I haven't dealt with it in forever, but it's like, it brings you right back to where it's tough, man. It's tough working things out with people that you love. And, the scene was great, and he comes back in to kind of just let everybody know all of the faults that he has and showing that he is not the perfect son. He's not the perfect boyfriend. But it was amazing. I don't know. I really love the show. I really did love the show. Great acting. I love Bobby Lee is in the show. He's like a side character. He's a coworker of Mickey's, and she works at a radio station. And yeah, his character was fun. The whole radio station was interesting, seeing how that evolved, and they start pick up a podcaster to fill in, and kind of Mickey becomes the producer of this podcaster's show, and it's everybody's kind of trajectory and growth throughout the show was great to see. Not only how Mickey grew as a person, dealing with her addictions, dealing with her problems, also growing in her career. Paul Rust, Gus's character, how he grew as a character, how he grew as a person. Also, the roommates and the friends that are involved. One of the fun things about the show is the friend group that Gus has. They get together and they make movie theme songs for movies that don't have theme songs, and I think that's it's something that is easily believable that a group of friends in LA would get together and write songs like that. So it really so much of the show really humanized the reality of these people and these relationships, and I really enjoyed the show. So if you're looking for something on Netflix to watch, it's 3 seasons. Just a great show. Yeah. So check it out. Love. Be sure to check out our sponsor, StationHouseCoffee.com and Station House Coffee on Instagram for small batch, single origin, premium coffee, brewed in Vermont, shipped directly to you. Make sure you follow Station House Coffee on Instagram and go buy your coffee at StationHouseCoffee.com. Also, check out the newly released Patreon, patreon.com/inspireddisorder For only $3 a month, you could become a member, get access to the full week of The Ray Taylor Show, binge the full week in video and audio form, save massive amounts on the many faces with a coupon code that's specific to Patreon, and you also can download the raw PSD files, the Photoshop files for all the Photoshops that I do. So for only $3 a month, become a member over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder and get all those benefits and more. Patreon.com/inspireddisorder. New episodes come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go binge the full week over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy the merch for The Ray Taylor Show over at inspireddisorder.com and follow The Ray Taylor Show on Instagram. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!